Hey everyone, and welcome back to Neri Nekama. It has been quite a while. Those of you who follow my second channel, Hanako Kozume, as well, will know that I just had surgery. It's been 2 weeks. I'm feeling much better. And today we're gonna get started again with the Bottoms Get Beat Up Inarizaki edition, and this is the second part for SakuAtsu. So check out the first if you haven't yet. It's important for context. And now, let's go. A shadow had claimed the room as the sun wandered to its highest point in the sky. The guest bedroom had a window pointing east, and slowly darkened as the morning bled into the afternoon. Atsumu watched the shadows dance as the wind played with the leaves of a tree planted by the street. It had a calming effect, taking his mind off the memories threatening to resurface. He listened to the soft rustling that might just be in his head, considering the window remained closed. The side of his face that had been struck felt warm and began to swell. It was uncomfortable. There was a slight pounding just underneath the skin that was more familiar than he'd liked, and yet, as he leaned back and trained his eyes on the tree outside, he felt at peace. It was an odd feeling, and for a moment he feared he might be dissociating, but when he checked, he felt grounded in his body. He felt safe. He knew he was always safe with Samu and Suna, but it still had taken his nervous system a while to catch up. And yet, today, despite everything that happened, he could sit here in the familiar room and his heartbeat calmed. There was no crushing fear looming on the edge of his consciousness like a tidal wave threatening to crash down on him, or a landslide threatening to bury him alive. His fingers didn't tremble as they did before, and he could take every breath slow and deliberate. He couldn't remember the last time something triggering came up and he managed to calm so quickly, perhaps because it never did since his triggers had been established. He sighed, and a half of disbelief escaped his throat. Who would have thought? He never would have dared hoped he had made it so far already. With another deep breath, he turned to stand up. It was difficult, and he had to remind himself of the odd sense of joy he had experienced just a few seconds ago, instead of feeling frustrated that his first success didn't brought on an avalanche of more. Baby steps, he reminded himself as he froze once more at the door when footsteps echoed from the hallway on the other side. He was even more taken aback when the voice calling through the door wasn't Osamu's, but Sakusa's. Atsumu. And then a smile tugged at his lips. He reached out and unlocked the door before taking a couple of steps back. It was a ritual they had established for bad days so as not to overwhelm him further. Part of him thought hopefully that he might not even need it today, but he wasn't ready to face the disappointment in case he did. He could hear Sakusa placing a hand on the door handle in a hurry, but then pausing and waiting the usual 10 seconds before he asked once more, "Color?" "Green." And Natsuma's smile brightened. Every second reminded him how far he had made it, that he wasn't trapped anymore, and that on the other side of that door was someone who only held the utmost care and love for him. Caught in his own experience, it took him a while to process the sight exposed when Sakusa finally entered. The bruises on his neck and forehead, and the gauze applied by his hairline. It was as if with all of his expectations on how this would play out being disproven, he failed for a moment to conceptualize what was happening. Ami? His voice was unsure, and suddenly a new fear bloomed in his mind. Before he got the chance to act on it, Sakusa approached him carefully. "How are you feeling? Is it okay for me to be here? If it is too much, I can leave again, I understand. I just need you to be okay." Atsumu's eyes widened, and he slowly reached to pull Sakusa closer by his sleeve. The others still looked at him in shock. A familiar anxiety pulled in the dark eyes, and he scanned Atsumu from head to toe, visibly flinching as he saw the bruise on the side of his head. He looked like he wanted to reach out and inspect it further, possibly treat it or offer an ice pack, but refrained from it as he waited for Atsumu's response. Ami, what happened to you? Slowly, his worry caught up with his setter as he tried to make sense of everything. You didn't try to go after them, did you? Rin already... He was interrupted by a short laugh. A sigh of relief escaped the ace and he shook his head. No, I didn't. Don't worry about me, love. I'm fine, just a little concussion. But how? Sakusa took in a deep breath as he rested his head against Atsumu's neck, suddenly looking much more exhausted. Car crash, but nothing bad. Car crash? What do you mean nothing bad? Did you see a doctor already? He nodded weakly, though seemed to think different of it in the middle. No doctor. Paramedics. They cleared me to go. I'm fine. Just happy that you're okay. He sounded even more tired now, and Atsumu felt his heart pounding in his chest as he would have expected it to before. He slowly closed his arms around the human version of a black cat that was his boyfriend's. You idiot. If you got into a crash because of me, I'll never forgive you. It was a lie, and he knew it, but he would at least pretend to be really mad once Sakusa was better. He was, at least in part. His worry was eating him alive as he pictured what could have happened. But Sakusa shook his head again. It wasn't because of you. I hurried, but I was careful. Someone ran a red light. It didn't have the intended effect, as Atsumu visibly stiffened further in his arms. The image alone made him nauseous and want to never let go of Sakusa again. Sumo? You idiot. A sob clawed its way from his throat, and his hands dug into Sakusa's shirt. All the emotions from before he had just begun to process now bled into his concern, and he couldn't stop his tears from falling. Sakusa didn't attempt to explain himself further, and simply held the blonde more tightly in his arms. He rubbed circles into his back, and as he began to feel a little lightheaded on his feet, guided them to sit down, leaning against the bed and still holding each other close. Atsumu must have noticed after a moment that something had changed, because his head snapped up and he searched the dark eyes for an answer. What? How are you feeling? Atsumu, I'm fine. Just a little lightheaded. Ami. Atsumu's voice was stern now, and he stared at him in determination. What's your color? Sakusa bit his tongue and cursed internally before answering. Yellow. But it is really not that bad. Just need some rest. Maybe, but I won't let you die on me because you thought you had to play hero. The ace huffed, but Atsumu ignored it. He pulled him to his feet once more before carefully positioning the spiker's arm over his shoulder and supporting him as they walked outside. Samu? He found them still in the living room, staring at them expectantly and with concern written all over their faces as they walked in. Can you drive us to the hospital? On it. Do you want to come with us or rest, Rin? Suna glanced over at them and then his own injuries before shaking his head. I'll stay. I'll be okay, and at this point, I'd only hold you back. Osamu begrudgingly accepted his response and made him promise to call should anything come up before helping Atsumu guide Sakusa to the car. The setter was surprisingly quiet the whole ride and took to gently holding his beloved and drawing patterns over his arms. He only started going off on his tangents again when the doctor cleared Sakusa of any worse suspicions than a medium concussion, to which the ace had a hard time not to look a little smug. It could have been something bad. It could have been worse. Even the doctor said so. Yeah, but it wasn't. Not the point. Next time, let them bring you here right away. Osamu observed the lovers' quarrel from the sidelines. Atsumu wasn't as animated as usually again, but he could argue, which was generally a good sign. Baby steps, the younger twin reminded himself as he sent Rin a quick update of the situation. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and thank you for being here again after such a long time. I'm so sorry that we had to take this long break. But again, I'm feeling much better. Any updates you can catch on my second channel, it'd be much appreciated. And if you need even more context as to why Atsumu reacted that way, check out tomorrow's video, which will be a supercut of hidden chasms, including some bonus parts as well, including Osamu getting kinda interrogated / kidnapped by SakuAtsu. I love it. Here are my nerd neckos. Thank you so much for you. Special thanks to Min and Noah who just joined. Thank you so much for being here. If you are not a nerd neck yet, you watching right now and you want to be, check out, they get early access to my videos. And here are more of said videos. I heard they're pretty good. Check them out. Algorithm lost when you do that. Now have a wonderful and amazing day. Bye! About what you want to be. Step 4. Everybody just do your thing. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.